Good morning. Good morning, lovely lights. I always feel like I have exactly what I know I want to say in mind before I actually do this, and then it shifts. I was going to talk about learning or unlearning how to be your best self. How do you unlearn? I think that people hear that and they think, why would I unlearn all of the things that I've learned in my whole life? Because all of the things that we think that we are programming of our mind. And we can unlearn, if we can learn how to unlearn and go within ourselves and find this space in between all of the thoughts and the craziness, the actual authentic thoughts will come flowing in. This last week has been an incredible week. It was an incredible week for loss. There was a lot of loss in my life this last week. It's really hard to even wrap words around the loss that I have endured this last week. It began on Tuesday. A really amazing friend, her name Hannah, she passed on Tuesday. She was an amazing, incredible soul. She was 32, had 2 boys. Giancarlo, who is, I don't know if he's quite 10, 9 or 10, and little Julian, who is 4. And the weight of that situation just weighed very heavy on my heart, as I am a mom. And if you are a parent, you can relate that if you hear of the death of a parent before their children, it's very heavy. And I've really been grounding myself and centering myself in meditation and being conscious, and knowing that there is a greater purpose. And then more loss followed. I woke up and it was actually a lovely day. It was my second day of my yoga teacher training. And we had this really fun project that I wanted to share where we made our cue cards for our poses. And I'm going to do a fun little class for you. This is some of the poses on the lighter end. This is Tadasana, the standing pose, the mountain Tadasana. This is Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. This one's one of my favorites. This is Utkatasana, the chair pose. This will just lighten up things a little bit for us. Trikonasana is the triangle pose. Oh, she's upside down. This project was, we have to make these cards so we can prompt each other and teach each other how to do poses, and so we can teach amazing people like you with the right words to say and the right movements. Utta Parvakasana, extended side angle or lateral angle. And then there is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So my class opened up pretty heavy as well as that morning did. I found out that a family, it's crazy how people play small roles in your life and you don't really realize why. Even if have you noticed people in your life, if they have a heavy influence on your life or a negative impact on your life. On Saturday morning was the day of Hannah's memorial. And I painted, if you didn't see my Hannah song, I had this really amazing healing time with my sister. We did some healing art. And I haven't painted in a long time. Painting hasn't really been on my heart, but my sister and I painted this for Hannah. And it was prompted off of this beautiful picture. I'll show you Hannah, because I would like to share her with you so you can have her in your thoughts. Hannah. Here she is. Beautiful Hannah. She passed away on Saturday. And then this was my painting. It was really cool to see the progression. I just felt like I needed to paint to draw her, so I began. You can see I drew Hannah there, and then it progressed, and then I drew her some more. I like to kind of record the stages of my art. It's really fun. It was really healing for my soul to paint, and then there was the pre, and then this was the post-finished painting. And my sister Jenny, who hasn't painted in 2 years, she hasn't really been inspired at all, painted this beautiful painting of Hannah. That was Jenny's painting of Hannah. And Hannah also loved yellow roses, and Jenny painted these yellow roses. But backtracking, I get off a track a little bit. How people sometimes impact our life, positive or negative. And Hannah impacted my life very positively. And then I found out Saturday morning, when I'm going into my second day of yoga teacher training, that there was another loss, and it was an ex-husband of a friend who was my sister's neighbor, and he committed suicide 2 weeks ago. And he was more of one of those kind of more darker force impacts of life. Just the pain that he caused upon his wife and his children was really difficult for me. And I know that everyone has a purpose, and I'm trying to gather in my soul what my lesson from, his name is John, was. It's a really heavy concept to even think of, like, what did I learn from this person, or why was this person brought into my life and this person left so abruptly? Or how there's people like Hannah, who was fighting with every inch of her morsel to try every treatment that she could do. She tried everything. I mean, she did the chemo and radiation, and then she tried food dieting, and she tried power of mind over matter. And I remember getting together with her talking about Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, and she was really trying to cure herself with her mind over matter, but she had some very deep darkness around relationships in her life, her mom and her sister, and then it was just, yeah, very heavy. And my soul sister, who's a psychotherapist, was introduced to Hannah's life. We kind of, Jenny and I, my sister, brought them together, and it was crazy because there was another woman, she's one of the moms in the classroom, who was also Hannah's hospice nurse. And she was saying how Hannah wasn't ready about 2 months ago. She said she wasn't ready to die, and I don't think anybody's ever ready. I don't know if you're ever ready to die. And she had a lot of, I think, opening and growing with my soul sister, with her therapist, that really helped her release and understand things deeper in her life. And it just really helped set her free, and she passed on Tuesday. And it's just been, I always feel like in my life, and I don't know if I manifest this on myself, that when heavy things come, they come in threes. It's like 1, 2, 3. So it was Hannah, and then John, and then 3 was one of my yoga teacher trainers. It was so sad. She was 26 weeks pregnant, and she lost her baby, and I immediately just started crying when my instructor told the news. And I've only met this woman 3 times, but I felt really connected to her. Energy is so high and amazing. And my yoga instructor, who's also the owner of the studio, just began pouring his heart out about the heaviness of the situation, and how he doesn't usually he gets impacted and sad, but he was just like a puddle, and it was such a sad situation. And him and his wife, the owners of the studio, met my pregnant, amazing friend who lost her baby at the hospital, and he said she has such an amazing practice that she does through yoga and meditation and consciousness, that when they came into the hospital, as she was going through her difficult time, she smiled, and she still had love to give, no matter how much darkness was going on in her life. She was still just, her heart was just so beautiful, and she had such amazing support from her family. And the owner of the yoga studio where I go, he was sharing how just the presence of the soul of the being of whatever the baby was, and I don't know if they did this at the funeral at the hospital or somewhere else, but he said it was so powerful and so much love. And I know for a lot of people it's really hard to resonate. Like one of my sisters has a very hard time with finding beauty in death, and it is a very heavy concept, but this universe and this world is so vast, and we all are here for a reason, a season, a lifetime. We all play roles in this world, and I can't even fathom the loss of a child, especially a child in utero who didn't get a chance. But it was so beautiful hearing him talk about the presence of this being and just this beautiful power and the love and the connection. And he's like me, like he has had he said he feels experiences where he feels his spiritual chakra like connecting him to something else. And I've had moments of that. And he said that he felt that and this complete vastness surrounding that child. And it's still so deeply sad when you come back down from your spiritual self or your deep meditation, and we did this beautiful, beautiful mantra. And if you watched my meditation and mindfulness meditation, I used to call mantras chants because I didn't know, but they're actually called mantras, like the Om mantra. I used to think they were chants. This is why I'm going to yoga school or teacher training to learn more about yoga, because yoga is so much more than just movement, than these poses, which I think a lot of people started this training thinking, I'm going to learn how to be a yoga teacher. Yoga is a lifestyle. The asana, which is the movement, is a small little piece of the yoga pie. It's a whole, it's about being conscious and present and finding your inner self and connecting to spirituality and being the best person that you can be. And this is why this amazing woman, her spiritual just still, after even she loses her child, and she's so grounded in her being, and I'm sure she's so deeply saddened, and I can't even understand, but just the way that my instructor just explained her and how she was being just yoga, the yogic, just the spirituality behind it had her so grounded in being. And I don't know if my friend Hannah, if she was, I don't think she was like into the yoga practice, but she was so grounded in her spirituality. And my relationship with her, with Hannah, was truly a spiritual connection that I only share with a few people. And it was so deep and so truly meaningful. And I've shed a lot of tears, and they're kind of coming up. And it's good to feel and express your feelings and your emotions. But I do also, it's insane, and I never thought that I would say this, I see and I feel so much beauty in the passing of even these three people's lives that have happened in this past week. It's pretty phenomenal. I can't even describe it. And the owner of my yoga studio said the same thing about the baby. When the baby was a loss, it was a loss of words. It was just a connection of feeling. And to me, that's what yoga is. It's just this feeling and this spiritual connection. And it's so amazing that the people that I met, and just, I've only gone 2 times, and I missed, almost 2.5 hours on Saturday for yoga's memorial. But the people are so open and just amazing. And even though we're all scared, kind of, we're not sure of what we're doing because we're learning something new, it's incredible. And it was so just soothing for my heart too, because me and my soul sister, we started this spiritual women's group. And we had this idea, Stephanie had this idea about a month ago, and then we slowly got it together, and it was 2 days after Hannah passed. And one of the women came in, and she had lost her mother 2 months ago in the beginning of December, and she was just processing and grieving and just so amazing and heavy. And there was another woman, actually 2 other women, who have lost parents too, and just know that you're not alone if you have endured deep loss. There's a lot of loss out there, and it's good to grieve and let it run through your system and not shut down and just be strong, because you have to be strong, because doing that, shutting down, will create illnesses in you, and it will hinder you from being your best self. Connecting to yoga or pranayama, whatever it is that God, the universe, source, whatever it is just so comforting to know that there are other people, and that it's okay to grieve, but it's also okay to open your heart up and see the beauty in these situations. Because in our culture, this culture, America, where we live, I don't know if you're from, I have some followers from the United Kingdom and some from Japan. And in your cultures, it might be more acceptable. Death might be more of an accepted or a beautiful thing. But here, in this culture, in the Western culture, it is not. It is very feared. It's, you know, even sometimes I catch myself in the way I am teaching my children. I'm like, be careful, you're gonna die, you're gonna drown, you're gonna... And I have to stop myself, like, what am I doing? What am I saying? I don't even know. It's just my subconscious mind takes over. Yes, very heavy times. And I went to Hannah's memorial. It was beautiful after we did this amazing mantra with our mala beads in class, which I will share with you if you would like to join me. It was Om Gam Ganapa Namaha, and we mantra Om Gan Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataye. We mantraed that Namo 108 times. Om Gan Ganapataye. In our collective group of 20 people, 21 with the instructor, and we visioned Jogamanti and her. I visioned her baby, and I brought Hannah in, and it was so beautiful. It was emotional, it was powerful, it was healing. And then we sat in silent meditation, and the week before, Jagamanti walked us through a counting meditation in silence, and we would sit in silence, and if a thought would come in, we would clear it. We would try to count to 30. 1, 2, 3, and then a thought would come in, and then we'd start over. But we sat with one of the elders. So many emotions running and going up and down, and my body was just like vibrating. Oh, it was really beautiful and amazing, and it was just what my soul needed that day. And then after that, yes, Jack. Oh, tell her to not do that at all. I have a sick child from school. Okay, Jackie, go upstairs. And then so I did go to Hannah's service, and it was deeply saddening and deeply beautiful and moving, and so many connections with so many different people, and it was just beautiful to see all of people coming together and spreading love. And I brought that painting of Hannah and her husband Carlos. He started crying, and then he was, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to save that for later. And he was being so amazing, and so I don't know if brave is the word, but he was being real and authentic and just sharing his love, and just, it was so beautiful because he came up to me and my sisters, and we were with my soul sister was with us, Stephanie, and he was just like, you will never know how much you did for her or how much you helped Hannah. And it was like, of course, like I was trying my best not to tear up, and just hugged him, and he was doing great. He wore sunglasses, and his brother and his sister wore their sunglasses the whole time, and I don't know if it was a culture thing or if it just you need to cover your eyes up a little bit. It makes you feel stronger. But it's okay to not be strong. It's okay if you're enduring loss to weep and let it go and let it flow. Let the grief come up. Don't shut it down, because it will shut down in your energy sources and you will cause pain and suffering in your life. You know, keep living it over and over. And I know that these people, maybe some of them would want you to grieve for them. They would want you to grieve for them for a little bit, but they would want you to keep going. They would want you to keep living your life and not just being sad and mourning their life. And I wanted to share with you, this was on Hannah's memorial that her husband shared, and I will read it to you. I give you this one thought to keep. I am with you still. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not think of me as gone. I am with you still in each new dawn. That was so deeply moving, and I bawled my holy bananas off when I first heard that. It was really just amazing. So just open your heart to love. I know that it's hard in these difficult situations of loss. Or if you haven't endured loss, like I went a really long time without having loss in my life. And I just did. It was like there wasn't any loss. And when I was 13 was the first time I really endured loss, and it was a lot of loss. It was a lot of loss. I had a friend in middle school, my grandpa, and my nanny, again in threes. There was a lot of losses. And just let it flow, but also, please, keep living your life and take your moments of grief, but find the beauty in the situation, or find what you learned from this person. It was really beautiful. We were with our neighbor the night we were painting, and she said, this really makes me want to do something. This makes me want to be a better person. This makes me think about, what would people say about me when I die? Would I have helped people? This is what I'm contemplating. Would I have helped people? Because all of these weird situations I've been putting myself in, like my writing group, my spiritual group, joining yoga, being a mom, I'm just putting myself out there and connecting with people, or my fear of my books and being rejected. It's fine if I'm rejected, but I'm putting myself out there and I'm doing my best to help, and that's what this vlog is about. I'm just spreading my light, and if I died tomorrow, I would have a little bit of a legacy, a big legacy. I would have this to share with random people. I look at this and see that there's some of you in the United Kingdom. Hello, thank you so much. I'm here in Colorado in the United States, and that seems just so huge and amazing. And some followers in Japan. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all of you, and just try to connect with people. Do, what is it that you've always wanted to do that you never did? What is it? There's something in there. I know that you have to support your family or yourself. You have to do some basic notions. Yes, we have to cook and clean and do all that bullshit, but what is it that you've always wanted to do but were scared to do? What if you truly died next year, would you have regrets? Or would you feel like, I did make an impact. I tried as hard as I could. Like Hannah, I'm sure that she wanted to do so much more. Her body got so sick, she couldn't even her last year, and most certainly the last months, her body was completely giving out on her and she couldn't do the things that she wanted to do. But she did make amazing connections. Like me, I will always be forever impacted. And that beautiful quote, I truly have been having these amazing spiritual connections where I feel Hannah's presence. Like I feel her. I feel when I'm feeling complete sadness, the sky is so blue, the sun shines. My child will come up and laugh at me, and it's like, thank you, Hannah. But you have to open your eyes. You have to just open your eyes to the beauty of the world. And so if you've always wanted to do something but didn't think that you had enough money or time or effort or courage to do it, because what if it was your last day? And even if it was my last week and I went to one of these yoga trainings, I would be so blessed and grateful because I touched the life of all these people and I got to share a little piece of myself with them. And even by smiling to somebody, or in moments where you feel like you can contribute or help, it doesn't have to be money. If you have a lot of money, that's great. But I always thought that I couldn't help make the world a better place unless I could be a millionaire and donate millions of dollars to charities. That's so not true. You can make an impact on people's lives, one person at a time, one child at a time, one smile at a time, one embrace at a time. Just live your life and be free. Yes, I know I kind of rambled on. It's kind of a deep situation. Okay, I'm going to read, to finish off, some Stillness Speaks. Stillness in silence and stillness. When you lose touch with inner stillness, you lose touch with yourself. When you lose touch with yourself, you lose yourself in the world. Your innermost sense of self, of who you are, is inseparable from stillness. This is the I am that is deeper than name and form. Look at a tree, a flower, a plant. Let your awareness rest upon it. How still they are, how deeply rooted in being. Allow nature to teach you stillness. That's perfect. This is Eckhart Tolle, Stillness Speaks. When you look at a tree and perceive its stillness, you become still yourself. You connect with it at a very deep level. You connect with it at a very deep level. You feel a oneness with whatever you perceive in and through stillness. Feeling the oneness of yourself with all things is true love. Silence is helpful, but you don't need it in order to find stillness. Even when there is noise, you can be aware of the stillness underneath the noise, of the space in which the noise arises. That is the inner space of pure awareness, consciousness itself. You can become aware of awareness as the background to all of your sense perceptions, all your thinking. Becoming aware of awareness is the arising of inner stillness. I was really thinking about this too, about learning and unlearning, and the concept of, we always think that we need more and more and more and more, and we need to learn and learn and learn. And I know I've been like this. I need to read more books, I need to write more, I need more study, I need more practice. What if you don't? What if you are already perfect and pure and complete in here? Think of you as a baby. You were so pure and complete, and all that you wanted to give and receive was what? What was it? Love. I mean, of course you needed some breast milk and somebody to change your diaper, but you mostly needed love. You needed love. Unlearning. What if we can help unlearn all of our programmings? You can unlearn your programmings. It's a matter of becoming aware, being conscious, being in tune with your yogic self, the awareness within. Do you need more knowledge? Is more information going to save the world? Or faster computers, more scientific or intellectual analysis? It is not wisdom that humanity needs most at this time. But what is wisdom, and where is it to be found? Wisdom comes with the ability to be still. Just look and just listen. No more is needed. Being still, looking, and listening activates the non-conceptual intelligence within you. Let stillness direct your words and actions. Beautiful. I love you so much, and I just wanted to spread awareness that you can be your best self through tragic, hard, difficult times of loss and suffering and pain. There truly is light within the darkness, and the choice is yours. You can choose to chase after the darkness, hit the walls, the barriers, be sad, be depressed, be dark, have a life of no meaning. Find the light and the beauty, and know that there is something out there that's connecting us all together. And even when there's loss and people pass, they're always with us, like that poem. They're everywhere. They're in the sky, they're in the stars, they're inside of love in your heart. And if you ever want to talk to somebody who's passed, close your eyes, go into prayer, and they'll hear you. They hear all your thoughts. Everything is connected. I love you so much, and just be yourself and see light, because there's so much light. Namaste. Love, peace, and happiness.